1944. The world is at war. 5 million Jews murdered, 120 million people living under Nazi occupation. Their only hope of liberation, an Allied... The invasion of Europe on June 6, 1944, will be the most ambitious military operation ever conceived. If successful, German forces will be driven back, Hitler will be defeated, and the people of Europe will be liberated. For 5 years, Hitler has wrought destruction across the world, invading Poland and driving through Holland, Belgium, France, and Russia. He has crushed their armies and tyrannized their civilian populations. His empire now stretches from Stalingrad to the Pyrenees. But Hitler's desperate efforts to crush the Russians on the Eastern Front have drained his resources, and he is vulnerable for the first time. The Allies now have the chance to fight back. Their plan is Operation Overlord, a high-risk strategy to enter Europe and force Hitler to fight the war.
How did it go?
For the first time, I feel we're a team. Monday's speech did the job. You know, I think he had tears in his eyes.
Who?
Churchill.
What did he say?
He said, we're all in it together. And if it fails, we all go down together.
With less than a month to go, a multinational fighting force of nearly 2 million men has been assembled on England's south coast.
I remember walking down a little street in Weymouth. Some old dock worker, you know, with no teeth, and he would look like an old, British sailor. And he said, "Go get 'em, mates, go get 'em." And it kind of put a chill on my back. I thought, oh boy, I sure want to.
Let's go! Move! Hey, company, get a move on!
2 weeks before D-Day, the 9th Parachute Battalion are nearing the end of their training. Every aspect of the mission has been continually rehearsed. Nothing has been left to chance. Platoon Commander Lieutenant Alan Jefferson is just 23. He will lead 32 of Colonel Otway's men into battle.
B Company and C Company will mount the main assault here. Diversion party will attack the main gate here.
And he said, this is our task. And it was surrounded by minefields and barbed wire and anti-tank ditch and goodness knows what. And we just roared with laughter because it seemed so impossible.
Each man has got his own build-up in hatred, but you've got to know what you're going to do and build up that hatred within the body. It's a fighting instinct. It's like killing a man.
20-year-old Sid Capon has been in the parachute regiment for 1 year. He's never left England before.
If you don't build up this hatred, you're a loser. Tear their ears off, gouge their eyes out, anything.
We had 9 rehearsals by night and day.
The last time we did it, it was for real. We had live ammunition and we had a tremendous kind of gung-ho feeling. We went in yelling and screaming blue murder, and it was different.
Any plans for after the war, Mike?
After the war. I have to be positive.
Mike Dowling and I enjoyed each other's rather strange sense of humor, and he and I developed a stupid sort of arrangement between us whereby the first one to tread on an S-mine would lose. So it was a rather black joke for a start, but one we maintained. We laughed at death, I think. There was no use in pandering to it. I found it worked.
With D-Day just weeks away, the Allies have been gathering as much information as possible about German defenses. And it appears Rommel may have armed the beaches with a new type of mine, which could decimate the troops as they land. The Allies have no choice but to find out more. A job for the commandos.
When I trained with commandos, they were a tremendous bunch. Didn't like them, but they were great warriors, and they were super conditioned and super motivated, and I thought they were great.
29-year-old Hungarian Gyuri Lanyi has changed his identity to fight with the British. Having served as a saboteur with the French resistance, he is now one of the hand-picked elite. His mission is to bring back one of the new mines. It is vital, but risky. If captured, he faces interrogation and execution.
You're from one of those special units, aren't you? Is it true you're all Jewish foreigners? Beats me why you come and help us fight. I mean, look, if it was me.
I think it's better if we don't tell each other much about ourselves.
Major! Fire!
I see it. We've been spotted. We're surrounded. What do we do now?
I was sitting talking to the top general in Germany. I said to him,
Do you think soldiers are the right people to occupy a country once it has been conquered?
Yes, I do. I believe a good soldier has a sense of duty. Do you agree?
I think a good soldier is an honorable soldier.
Having found me a very fluent kind of chap, and I said to myself, as long as he's enjoying it, I think that might...
Sie kommen bald. Sie kommen.
It's early June, and the invasion force is finally ready to set sail.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of tanks, and trucks, and jeeps, artillery pieces, and ammunition, boxes, and drums of gasoline, and jerry cans of water, and it was just, you could tell.
Over 5 days, 136,000 men will set forth for France. Many of them just teenagers, and many of them going into battle for the first time.
The way I knew D-Day was going to happen, the journalists who were assigned to cover it began to disappear. Kappa went a few days before D-Day.
The fact is, Robert, this can't go on. I know we always had this arrangement suited us both, but feelings can't be arranged. Hearts don't work that way.
When I didn't get another phone call from Kappa, I knew he was gone, and we hadn't had a chance to say goodbye.
On June 4th, Robert Capa joins men of the U.S. 1st Division on board the USS Samuel Chase.
I don't need a French phrase book. I've been there. Just need to tell the Germans how to smile.
Hello, BBC. This is Colin Wills. Across this quayside moves a stream of men. They will be the first Allied troops who will assault Hitler's fortress.
I joined up in 1943, conscripted, of course, and we did basic training, and they sent me to a specialist camp to learn to drive. From then on, I was posted to the regular battalion, full-blooded battalion up in Lockerbie. They never actually told us it was for D-Day, but all the boys reckoned it was for D-Day. You didn't really want telling, you see.
Bob Littler and Bill Farmer and the rest of the King's Shropshire Light Infantry will land with a second wave on Sword Beach. Their average age is just 22.
There was very, very little talk about the actual invasion. I think a lot of the lads were very, very subdued because they know what was coming off and they knew that a lot of us wouldn't be coming back.
Your son.
Post Mike 1. Post Mike 1. Operation postponed. Repeat. Operation postponed.
And we were on there for, just a long, long time waiting, because this was the biggest thing in our lives, was to go to D-Day. That was something we were been working so hard for, and, we wanted to go. And then all of a sudden, it was just a big letdown.
There are 1,300 men on the USS Samuel Chase, all destined to land on Omaha Beach. But only one man has the luxury of choosing when he will go.
Fellas, meet Robert Kappa, photographer as they call him, following our day trip here. Who knows? You let him win, he may make you look good on the cover of Life. Word from...
All right. Let's go.
Life, I knew for sure the future.
For the German troops stationed on the Normandy coast, the past 6 months have been a period of endless waiting. And for teenager Franz Gockel, there's no reason to suppose that the night of June 5th will be different from any other.
In the evening, we talked a lot about the invasion in our bunks, and some said they wouldn't come here, it's too far away. Others said that they thought they would come here, but for me, I knew they would come here. Rommel had said so.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you.
Each man in the invasion force has been given a copy of Eisenhower's final D-Day address. Yet, just hours amongst the first troops to go into they have just 20 minutes before jumping to attack the Merville Battery.
Steiner? Nein. Ja, sonst würde ich sagen.
We're approaching the coast of France. They don't shit about attack when he comes up to an aircraft, what he does to an aircraft. And all of a sudden, the aircraft's swayed and you're thrown from port to starboard. And before you get to
somewhere behind the tail of the aircraft, and the blast caught me and shot me out of the door. So really, I didn't make any effort to jump.
I arrived and saw Colonel Otway standing there, looking as if he'd been taken out of a deep freeze. And he said, "Get over there, Alan, that's C Company." And C Company was about 3 men, which struck me as being rather limited force to take in.
So we've got nothing to signal the gliders in with? Any weapons canisters? No, sir. 80% of my men and half my equipment are landing in the wrong bloody place.
I had a choice, didn't I? Give up or go on. I don't think anybody in my position, whatever his age, sex, anything, would give up. Apart from anything else, could you face your friends?
Do wait, sir. No time to wait.
just before the general alarm sounded, I think I had gotten to sleep because I remember kind of waking up and realizing that where am I, you know? And then I realized with all the noise of the men moving around, getting their stuff together, I knew then it was not an exercise. This was it. This was the big deal.
10 miles inland and south of the city of Caen, tanks of the 21st Panzer Division are waiting for orders.
Der Tommy hat heute Nacht wohl alle Hände voll zu tun, Herr Feldwebel.
Der ist immer voll bei der Sache.
Glauben Sie, wir bekommen heute Nacht was zu tun?
Wünschen Sie sich das?
Natürlich.
Of the 750 men that were due to attack the Merville battery, Colonel Otway is now advancing with just 150.
Knight and his men will carry out the diversion as originally planned. Darling, you will breach the perimeter and then attack casemate 2.
What about demolition charges, sir?
Improvise.
Sir?
We attack in 5 minutes.
Well, I don't think we thought at that time that none of us would be coming back.
I'd had an advance party sitting outside the German wire for half an hour, and their sentries were wandering around inside smoking, and they hadn't got a clue.
And then the attack myself.
And they were doing what they should do, and I was immensely proud of them. I heard one of the soldiers say, "Oh, I saw Mr. Dowling, poor Mr. Dowling." So my ears pricked up, and I said, "Mr. Dowling, what?" "Oh, he's dead, sir," he said. Saw him and his battalion, saw both their bodies. I said, "No, you sure?" "Yes, sir, quite sure," he said. And that was an awful shock.
At 5 a.m., an hour and a half before the landings will begin, the Merville gun battery has finally been captured. 23 Germans have been taken prisoner, and of the 150 men that Lieutenant Colonel Otway led into battle, only 65 remain standing.
How did I feel about losing 85 men? I really don't know. I was mentally out of the count at the time. I wasn't capable, really, of making people coming across the beaches.
As soon as we hit the water, it was just like this. The water started pouring in. Of course, you know, the landing craft's got that flat front, and we'd slam into those big mounds of water, and it'd just come up and over into our laps. We were soaking wet within 2 minutes after we were in, you know, down to the ocean.
With so many troops to get ashore, men have been boarding landing craft since 3 a.m. Robert Capa will land with the first wave.
The ship artillery was the worst. Before the first landing boats came out, there was like a wall of fire coming toward us. It was very, very scary.
One of the 2 targets for American troops is Omaha Beach. The 500 landing craft which will take the men ashore have been waiting in the surf for almost 3 hours.
Some of the guys want to get out right there. You know, we're sort of a target. You can't do anything but just stay where you are until the ramp goes down, and all this time we're getting shot at.
On D-Day, we were shocked. I as well as the others. We were defending ourselves.
I told my number 1 and number 2 gunners, I'm going, and you come right behind me.
Among the boat handlers taking men ashore in the first wave is 15-year-old survivor of Exercise Tiger, Eddie McCann.
I wasn't. Believe me, I smelled it that day.
Bald sich etwas ändert.
The world had lost its color. The water, the skies above, the soldiers around me. It was strangely beautiful. I had to talk to remind myself I was still alive. I remembered an old line from the Spanish Civil War. Es una cosa muy seria. This is a very serious business.
The opponent wanted to defeat us, and we did our best in order to repel this opponent. And we did not think about the individual human beings.
I didn't hate the German soldier. I knew he was doing what he had to do, and we were doing what we had to do. You don't know whether they're shooting at you or not, or whether it's just a machine gun out there that's spraying the entire thing. You just think they're shooting at you. You think it's coming at me.
Despite the reports of beach landings, the 21st Panzer Division has yet...
Motor an! Panzermarsch! Richtung Norden zur Küste!
30 miles east of Omaha Beach is the British target beach, Sword. 29,000 men are about to set foot on. The biggest problem for the forces landing on Sword Beach is the weight of traffic trying to get ashore.
Keeps you on your toes getting shot at. So
all came ashore. Monty said you might even get 35 miles inland by the first night, by the time it was dark. I mean, no chance.
At 9 a.m., the 21st Panzer Division have finally received orders and are heading north towards the coast. But the German High Command is only now realizing where the main attack is coming from.
Aber das ist ein riesiger Umweg. Das wird Stunden dauern.
Damage. Tragic though they may be, they are part of the price of victory. The heroic deeds of Frenchmen who have continued the struggle against the Nazis have been an example and an inspiration to all of us. Keep your faith staunch. Our arms are resolute. Together we shall...
La côte. Ça bombarde dur. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Ils arrivent? Oui, ça. Oui, ils arrivent! J'en suis sûr.
Population.
It was the most beautiful day in my whole life. We were so grateful, in spite of all the things that happened, that they should have saved us all.
All I could do was ignore the shells falling all around me and keep going, frame after frame, picture after picture. But then my roll of film finished, human and alive. I knew I'd just gone from one battlefield to another.
By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the U.S. Army have seized control of Omaha Beach. "5,000 men have been wounded or killed."
Laying all over. And 15 out of the entire company was able to report for duty on June the 7th.
History this morning.
Troops to normal gravity of the situation, Rommel spends most of D-Day racing back from Germany.
Shoot them before they shoot you. That's all my dad said before I left.
I went home with my dad. Took me to the top of one of the hills in Herefordshire, where you could see a panorama. It was brilliant. And he said, well, this is what it's all about.
That's what we're fighting for, he said. That's what we're fighting for.
So you were the Jerris, he said, and we don't want them here, do we?
After a change of orders, the 21st Panzer Division are finally heading west towards Allied beaches. In their path, the British infantry heading for Caen.
I think the 21st Panzer Grenadiers were starting to come, but I hadn't seen a German tank at all.
Ist auf dem Weg nach Caen.
Also, wo sind sie genau?
Das wissen wir nicht. Scheiße!
Herr Feldwebel, Tommy ist direkt vor uns!
Feuer! Feuer!
You saw a few of the lads go down, and you knew they were either very badly wounded or they'd been killed, and you sort of wondered when it was your turn. He was a bit of an old scrounger, but he was such a nice man. Like. You're in a trap with that type of fire coming at you. What's the point of being there is the back of your mind, because you're just going to get hurt.
The King's Shropshire Light Infantry remain locked in bitter fighting with the Panzers.
Los, alle hier rüber! Hände hinter den Kopf!
Robert Douin and 86...
He dragged me back. God. Why did it go on? I'm okay, really, you know? Take a picture quick, please, mister. Hey, relax. Do you think I'm a coward?
No. You're anything but a coward.
Makes us both heroes then, I guess.
You're the hero. Just a bystander.
As fast as possible for editing, so I screamed at the darkroom, give me contacts. The next thing I know, this young lad, Dennis Banks, comes running into my office saying, the films are ruined. I rushed back down the stairs to the darkroom and looked and held these films myself, and the first three, he was right, there was nothing. But on the fourth roll, there were 11 discernible images.
These are okay. Print these.
All I want is some news.
This record of how many German soldiers died.
I was so young when I went in that I'm a survivor, and they're, most of those guys are gone, and here I am talking for, I guess, all of them.
Despite the success of the first
Risiko.
in July, more than 190 remain unaccounted for to this day. Eddie McCann served on Omaha Beach for 2 months and was still only 16 when the war ended.
My men that served with me in my small boats are all gone now. I'm the last one, and I'm the last one that can tell the message.
The disaster of Exercise Tiger was kept secret for 40 years.
My wife didn't even know it until 1984.
The men of the King's Shropshire Light Infantry finally took part in the liberation of Caen 32 days after D-Day. The only 2 large buildings that remained standing were the city cathedral and the hospital.
Those of us survived. Yeah, it is sad. It is sad.
Of the 30 machine gunners on his stretch of beach, Franz Gockel was only one of 2 that survived.
Als ich sagte, ich habe viel gebetet.
I've told people I was praying a lot during the attack. And one of the Americans I'm now friends with today said we were also praying.
Haben gebetet und sich dabei umgebracht.
We were praying and killing each other at the same time.
Something that I did that not very many people in the world can say they've done, and I guess we made a difference in the outcome of the war.
Robert Capa's photos appeared in Life magazine on June 19, 1944. By then,
the landing in Normandy was indeed a crucial event. Just imagine what would happen if it had failed.
And I guess we made a difference in the outcome of the war.
Robert Capa's photos appeared in Life magazine on June 19, 1944. By then,
the landing in Normandy was indeed a crucial event. Just imagine what would happen if it had failed.
He was a bit of an old scrounger, but he was such a nice man, like.
Well, don't get her. Move out!
You're in it.
Los, alle hier rüber! Hände hinter den Kopf!
Robert Douin and 86 other French resistance
Drag me back.
Can't. Why did it go on? I'm okay, really, you know? Take a picture quick, please, mister.
Hey, relax.
Do you think I'm a coward?
No. You're anything but a coward. Makes us both heroes then, I guess. You're the hero. Just a bystander.
So I screamed at the doctor and give me contacts. The next thing I know, this young lad, Dennis Banks, comes running into my office saying, "The films are ruined." I rushed back down the stairs to the darkroom and looked and held these films myself. And the first three, he was right, there was nothing. But on the fourth roll, there were 11 discernible images.
These are okay. Print these.
All I want is some news.
In July, more than 190 remain unaccounted for to this day. Eddie McCann served on Omaha Beach for 2 months and was still only 16 when the war ended.
My men that served with me in my small boats are all gone now. I'm the last one, and I'm the last one that can tell the message.
The disaster of Exercise Tiger was kept secret for 40 years.
My wife didn't even know it until 1984.
The men of the King's Shropshire Light Infantry finally took part in the liberation of Caen 32 days after D-Day.
Those of us survived are pretty selfish. It's a dirty, filthy game war. Yeah, it is sad. It is sad.
Of the 30 machine gunners on his stretch of beach, Franz Gockel was only one of 2 that survived.
Als ich sagte, ich habe viel gebetet.
I've told people I was praying a lot during the attack. And one of the Americans I'm now friends with today said, we were also praying.
Haben gebetet und sich dabei umgebracht.
We were praying and killing each other at the same time.
It's something that I did that not very many people in the world can say they've done, and I guess we made a difference in the outcome of the war.
Robert Capa's photos appeared in Life magazine on June 19, 1944. By then, he had already returned to the beaches of Normandy.
Bob Capa left behind him perhaps the greatest single record of war of any